Everybody submitted their questions, correct? This is your last chance. Okay. And somebody turns it over every.
I go for refuge into enlightenment to the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha. My main condition is the practice of giving support and become a Buddha living for all sentient beings. I go for refuge into enlightenment to the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha living for all sentient beings. I go for refuge into enlightenment to the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of the practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha living for all sentient beings. Sanje Judha Soge Chonamla Chanjo Pado Tane Gyatso Che Dage Jinso Gebe Sonamge Tola Penjire Sanje Drubara Isho Sanje Judha Soge Chonamla Chanjo Pado Tane Gyatso Che Dage Jinso Gebe Sonamge Dola Penjire Sanje Drubara Sho Sanje Jula Soge Chornamla Chanju Bardo Dani Kyapsuch Kage Jinso Gibe Sonamge Dola Penjire Sanje Drubara Sho Om Ye Dara He tum te sham tathagato yavatat te sham chayo nirodha evam bhati mahashramana esva om ye dharma hetu gato hyavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramana swaha om ye dharma prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato all phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The system of causes is taught us by the great seer. Okay. Ravena. Text. Draupadi. Okay, Venerable Pedro this morning asked if the oral transmission, because we did not go through this, if the oral transmission can be given. What is oral transmission? This is the next question. Oral transmission is where the teachings have been transmitted. Say, for example, we need to have some tradition there, tradition with respect to the explanation, transmission, oral transmission, and then empowerments. This also with respect to Tantra. But for the Sutra system, there is the teaching and the oral transmission. So where this is the transmission of the tradition. So yes, this is important. And in fact, as we read this, what you can do is that what we discussed thus far about this, the method of equalizing the exchanges of others, we see that it's actually coming from this text, the chapter 8. So I'll just slowly read this, and you try to see if you can relate what we are reading with what we have studied. It's the emptiness part is not really covered. The emptiness part is going to be covered in chapter 9, and chapter 8 is about the first half. That half of the chapter is known as meditation. It's broken into two halves, and the first half is about the chapter itself is known as meditation, and the first half is about how to create the conducive factors, how to mentally set forth to prepare yourself for meditation, and then how to create a physical environment for you too. Then once that is done, then the next question is, what are you going to meditate? So it says, I'll be meditating Bodhisattva. Then Bodhisattva explained. And Bodhisattva explained here is out of the two methods, is the second method, not the first method. So last time I did mention this. The first method is transmitted through Arya Maitreya to Arya Sangha, and the teachers around, and then the method which we discuss is transferred from Arya Buddha to Arya Manjushri to Arya Nagarjuna, and then down the line. And the point of confluence was Lama Selingpa, the Indonesian teacher, Lama Selingpa, and the Lama Tisha, who from India was invited to Tibet, but to an emperor. And so two of them are the points of confluence, two traditions,
They came together at that point. And then from that point onwards, then the practitioners, they practice Buddhist systems. Okay, so first let me quickly finish the first explanation part, then we'll read this. And then we have some questions here. I'll read the questions also. Okay, so which step we are doing now? Okay, what happened? Huh? 7. What is step 7? Special recollection of the kindness of others. Okay, so step 1 through to step 6 is more like it is more like something which we can see in a real life. In a real life, these are things which are happening. So if you think very carefully, the merits of cherishing oneself, merits of cherishing others, so we can see them. And whatever we see, we gather them together, and then it becomes a system. So now it's a special recollection. The word special is used. Why the word special is used is for the reason that this teaching, this particular teaching, step number 7, is the step which the ordinary people, they cannot really understand it. Meaning that ordinary people's way of thinking and what we're learning here, these two are directly in contradiction. These two are contradictory. So therefore it says that this teaching is to be maintained confidential. For the reason that ordinary people may think that this is very stupid teaching. In reality, this is a revolutionary teaching. It can revolutionize our thinking. Our thinking is very, very much based on the selfishness, and now teaches us. And okay, just tell me, why do you think is this self-centered attitude, selfishness is within us? Why? Anyone? What do you think is the purpose of that for us? The selfishness. Anyone? What do you think? Yes.
Survival.
Survival of whom? Others.
No, of oneself.
Survival of me, my survival. Okay. So this is what the Charles Darwin. For Charles Darwin, this is exactly what Marika said. This is exactly the thing. So the survival of the fittest. Whoever is fit will survive. So therefore, everybody, what's the purpose of life? It says to continue the species, to survive the species. So for that matter, this selfishness, and oftentimes there's also some books by title, Selfish Genes. The genes that we have, we inherit from the parents, and for parents, is all about the genes of selfishness to survive yourself. Okay, so now to revolution the way, the selfishness is like the foundation, which you think that this will help us to survive. Now this teaching will teach us the opposite. Selfishness will destroy you. Other cherishing will survive you, help you survive most effectively. So therefore, it's just like 360 degrees opposite. So therefore, this teaching is the thought to be maintained confidential by the same author. So we'll read this. Okay, so the whole idea about the Bodhicitta, the frame of the Bodhicitta, ground, the foundation of Bodhicitta is the unconditional love for others. Only when the unconditional love for others happen, then you see the other being suffering. It manifests in form of compassion. Then with the compassion, what would next? If I say that, oh, I feel so compassionate towards other beings suffering so much, I wish they are free from suffering, what would be the next question? So my question is that I said that I feel so compassionate to others, may others be free from suffering. What would be your most likely question? Huh?
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Okay. So what will you do? You have to do something to help others. What will you do? You're getting it? And who will do it? So you wish others to be free from suffering. Who will free the others from suffering? Then was the answer? I will do it. I will do it. What is this? This is known as altruism. This is known as altruism. Who will do it? I will do it. Then next question. Hey, how you will do it? You're getting it? How you will do it? Okay, by becoming Buddha. So, may I become Buddha for the benefit. This is all very systematic, extremely logical. Okay, for that matter, the ground is that affection should be there. If the affection is not there, then it does not happen. Affection should be there. So this affection, how to build this affection? To feel this affection towards all the being. How can you build that? This is the question. Okay, so oftentimes don't be angry, be kind to others. So, yes, of course, I don't want to be angry, but then it comes out, so what should I do? No, don't be angry. This doesn't have. So you have to have some methods, strategies to make sure that actually you can minimize your anger and your compassion actually increases. There should be a method. So the question is, how do we cultivate this universal compassion to all the beings? How do we cultivate this? This is a serious question. So now tell me, in your life, where do you see a very commonly commonly seen the affection? Where do you see that? Commonly seen affection in the world, very commonly. Raise hands. Very common. Families where conflicts are there. Where conflicts are happening. Family.
Within the family there is a strong show.
Within the family, fights happening. Children fighting his parents. Okay, tell me, where do you find? Be very precise. Yes.
Mother and child.
Mother and child. Otherwise, mother and the little child, the fight is almost unheard of. Mother and 16-year-old child can fight. You getting it? Mother and 16-year-old can fight. But the mother and little child, you don't see fights. You getting it? And the family can be very complicated sometimes. Be very precise. So mother and little child. Mother and little child. So this is the most common thing, which is so beautiful affection. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. And yet it's very easily visible. You can see that so often. So the question is that the mother's love towards the child. Mother's love to a child. The moment the child is born, mother's love is there. Generally speaking. Generally speaking. You agree? Okay, don't bring up one or two instances. Don't bring up one or two instances. 1 out of 10,000 is there, where the child abandons the mother abandons the child. This can be 1 out of 10,000. Don't break. So usually when you contemplate, always maintain a positive mind. How to maintain a positive mind? Is that, say, so if you pick up one complication matter out of 10,000 good things, just always pick up only the one complete matters. For example, like, so the mother having abandoned the child. 1 out of 10,000, 20,000, maybe 1 out of 100,000. If you pick up these things, then you will lose hope in the humanity. Whereas how to maintain positive is where the bigger things are there, smaller things are there. Know the smaller things, but it's micro level happening. Know that. At the same time, think about the broader, bigger image. Then your mind will be very positive. Bad things will be there. But you have to know this. Don't show a blind eye to that. You have to know what is happening. Meanwhile, you have to also think of the broader reality. So 1 versus 20,000, 50,000. It is so huge. We should appreciate the humanity's capacity to love. So this is how we can think of they keep positive. So with this, then the mother's love towards the child is born, instantly the mother's love is there, except for 1 out of 20,000. Then child's love towards the mother. Child loves towards the mother. Child is born, instantly the child loves the mother. Yes, no. Huh? The doctor? No. How many agree with the doctor in his hands? That the moment the child is born, child loves the mother or not? Answer is no. Because anybody can pick up the child. It doesn't matter for the child. And people say, oh no, that's not true. Since the time in the mother's womb, the child knows the mother. These are all like, let's say, when a dog bites a human being, this is not news. When a human being bites a dog, that becomes the news. Because it's so rare. It's so rare. You're getting it? Anybody can pick up the child. Anybody can pick up the child and it's okay for the child. There's no difference. Thank you, Mom. Who says it? Nobody in the history of humanity said it. It said that the Buddha, the moment the Buddha was born, he walked. He took 7 steps. How many of you took 7 steps when he was born? Not even single. You cannot even do. You even don't know how to come out. Somebody will pull you. This is reality. This is reality. So who will say, thank you, Mom, for giving birth? Who says that? No one said it. So what I'm saying is that these are the realities. So what is a very small 0.0001 out of 100%? As you pick this up and say the scientifically explained. So brain is not yet developed. This affection is a very sophisticated brain thought process. It's not yet developed. It's not yet developed. So, for the child, in other words, the day when the child is born, no love, affection to the mother. But within a span of 3, 4, 5 years' time, child develops a very strong affection, love to the mother. How many agree with me? This is undeniable. How many of you cried when you were age 3, 4, 5, when you see the prospect of the mother leaving you for 1 or 2 days of how a day presents? How many cried? Yes. This is very painful for the mother, very painful for the child also. Why did you cry? Because you just feel that now you're losing this somebody who you love so much. So which means you have developed such intense love towards the mother within a span of 3, 4, 5 years. Now next question is, how did you feel this love and affection to the mother? How did this little child, day 1, from there till the 3, 4, 5 years time, the child built so much of affection to the mother. How did the child develop the intense love from 0 to intense? How did they develop this affection? Quick. Yes?
The child benefits from the mother.
Because the child sees, how many agree with the doctor? Child sees the mother as a source of benefit. You are hungry, you cry, the mother comes, feed you. And they say, the mosquitoes bites you, again you cry, and the mother sees, and then you put under the, mosquito net. So whatever problem that you cry, somebody comes. Who's that? Your mother comes. And you cry, the mother again picks you and gives you warmth. So this is how the child sees the mother as a source of benefit. You're getting it? So the point is that when you feel somebody or something a source of benefit, then your mind feels close to that object. You're getting it? This is known as feeling close. Feeling close means affection. So this is how the little child builds affection towards the mother. Now, if we cannot copy the mother's love towards the child, but we can copy the child's love to the mother. Because how many love all the sentient beings now at the moment? How many love all the sentient beings? You don't love. So we are like the child at day 1 or the child at age 4. Huh? Day 1? Yeah, day 1. Day 1 the child doesn't love the mother. We don't love the sentient beings now. So we are like the day 1 the child was born. The child doesn't love the mother, and you don't love all sentient beings. But the child develops so many intense love within the span of 3 years, 4 years. So we can also develop the same. How? By seeing all the beings as source of benefit. If we can see all beings as source of benefit for you, do you think that your mind will feel close to them? Yes, no. If you see that all beings are source of benefit for you, then your mind will no doubt it will flow to all the beings. That feeling of closeness is known as affection. So that affection, if you see that, you see all the beings as the source of benefit for you, this is known as universal affection developed. Okay, next question. How can you see all beings as a source of benefit of us? And we even don't know who the other beings are. The human beings, 8 billion human beings are there on planet Earth, and the other creatures, insects, so forth, they're innumerably, infinite beings are there. Then in the other world systems, infinite beings are there. So, then how do we know all these beings? So for that matter, even though you don't know, it doesn't matter. So the beings are of 3 kinds. Beings are 3 kinds. We can categorize the beings into 3 groups. One, the near and dear ones, neutral beings, and the difficult beings. You agree? We can group the beings into 3. Near and dear ones, the neutral beings, and the difficult beings, difficult persons. So see how you can get a benefit from these 3 kinds of beings. Okay. And the benefit that we get, the benefit that we want is of 3 kinds. And because there are 3 kinds of beings, the benefit that we are getting is also of 3 kinds. One, okay, small scale, short-term benefits. Small scale, short-term benefits like food, clothing, shelter, and so forth. Small scale, short-term benefits. And next, large scale, short-term benefits. Large scale, short-term benefits. Then the third, the lasting long-term benefits. Lasting long-term benefits. Okay, is there anybody who can tell me the lasting long-term benefits? What do you mean by lasting long-term benefits? Where you get a benefit and this benefit will never leave you. What kind of lasting benefit can you think of? Lasting long-term benefit.
Fearlessness and
Knowledge. Anyone else? Okay, now today is the last session of this retreat. Be kind to me. Okay, I need this benefit. You come being kind to me. Anyone? Okay, Dhara.
Wisdom and compassion.
Wisdom and compassion, yes. Okay, Jigdala.
Gisela, Manzogi, Igen tissue Manzogi, unconditional step, Ninja, and Yama Major, Yuna, the Manzogi, unbiased, and I had the sample of 2 shoes.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, I'm expecting something from what we have learned in this course. Okay, so just as this morning Pandala said, defined compassion very technically, I want somebody to say something very technical here, which we have studied here. Okay, Ellie.
0 suffering, 100% happiness.
How many agree with this? 0 suffering. This is a goal, to make a suffering 0 and to make the happiness 100%. How many agree with this? Okay. So 0 suffering is known as Nirvana and 100% happiness is known as Buddhahood, technically speaking. You getting it? This is what all we are seeking. If you attain these 2, work done. Now, to attain these 2, okay, keep in mind, to attain these 2, the means, these 2 are the goals. To attain these 2, the means, what Dara said and what Jigdala said, the means, compassion and the wisdom. universal compassion and the wisdom and our Chudrunla. What's your name? The girl behind Chudrunla? Tenzin. So what Tenzin said, that knowledge is a part of the wisdom. So knowledge per se is not really the thing. Knowledge, what's the difference between knowledge and wisdom? Knowledge driven by compassion is wisdom. Knowledge driven by compassion and wisdom, this knowledge will be used in a productive way, not to destroy. Nobody wants to be destroyed. It will support you. And the compassion driven by the wisdom is known as skillful compassion. Wisdom, the knowledge driven by compassion is wisdom. Compassion driven by wisdom is known as skillful compassion. Knowledge driven by compassion is wisdom. And the compassion driven by wisdom is known as skillful compassion. So what we require is, so if you say compassion, compassion sometimes when it's unskillful, then you can burn out. You can go into burnout state. Whereas compassion driven by wisdom, it'll never make you burn out. Okay. So with this, we are talking about the lasting, it's a long-term lasting goal. Long-term lasting goal twofold: to make suffering zero and to have happiness at infinite. That is the lasting, the long-term lasting goal. And short-term, so we have, how many goals are there that we are seeking? 3. What are the 3 goals? The benefit, 3 kinds of benefit, what are they? Small scale, short-term benefit, large scale, short-term benefit, and the lasting long-term benefit. Okay, of the 3, which benefit is the greatest? Lasting long-term benefit. And if there's one person who gives you a temporary job, and you are struggling to get a job, and somebody gives you a job for 10 days, and another person gives you a job for 1 year, and another person gives you a job, permanent job. To whom you will feel most grateful? The one who gave you the lasting. So of the 3 benefits, to whom you feel most grateful? The one who gives you the small scale short-term benefit, large scale short-term benefit, or the lasting, the long-term benefit? To whom you will feel the most grateful? The one who gives you the long-term lasting benefit. You're getting it? Don't forget it. So with this in mind, let's say that who gives you the, for example, say when you were a small girl, small boy, little girl, and say who give you food, who give you milk, who give you this, that, and small things, who give you those things? Your mother, your father, somebody those who are near and dear ones. Those who are near to, they give you these things. And these things are the short term or long term? Short term. And that is small scale. You pay like 100 rupees, 200 rupees, 10,000 rupees, you can get these things. Then how many you came to something through your country, through your wherever you were by aeroplane in a sense? Okay, whose aeroplane was that? Your father's or your mother's? Himala, how did you come? By bus. And whose road you used? Your father's road or mother's road? Huh? But how come that? So the road came from where? It's a public road. What do you mean by public? Road which is constructed from the money of the public. How many people are there? 2 or 3? Public meaning? Meaning? How many? Number? 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20? So let's say from Shimla to Dharamsala, say how many people are there who are paying tax. And the generation after generation after generation. It's not like just it made in one day. It took like generation after generation after generation. And those who came by airplane, in a sense, whose airport you used? Your father's or mother's? Hey Dara. Delhi airport? Whose airport was it? Your father's or mother? Huh? Your father's. You came by aeroplane?
From Gujarat to Delhi at 10.
Yes, so whose airport was that? That's your father's or mother's? No one. Whose airport was that?
It is made from, like, constructed through our taxes. So,
Tax money, the people, all these people involved. So because of this, okay. So that is. Do you know these people? Millions of people involved in this. Do you know these people? You don't know these people. These are known as the what is that? Neutral beings. You don't know them. Because of them, you get the benefit. Because of them, you get the benefit. Okay. So for example, like here. So we're using this. We're using the light, and this one. What do you think is the cost of this? Anyone? Guess, quick. Huh? Oh, correct. Quite close. How do you know it? Just guess. It's like 700 rupees. It's 700. So just imagine. Just think of them very seriously. Don't just think that these are like jokes, as a source of laughter. Say, 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, if this fan was there, kings and queens will see them as a treasure. You agree? In those days, people live in Delhi. In those days, Delhi used to be very cold, now very hot. No, in those days, also very hot. So how did they survive? Particularly kings and queens, common people, okay. Whether they like it or not, if they have no facilities, no facilities. But the kings and queens, they should have the facilities. They own the whole wealth of the kingdom. So how did they survive? No fans. How did they survive? With the human fans. You getting it? Which is more effective, human fans or this one? This one is more effective. Human fans, you have to feed it once in a while. And even this also not so effective. Right? So when they are tired, it may slow down. Right? It may slow down. The moment it starts to slow down, you can again connect it. And again, it will work very effectively. And the human beings, very complicated. They fan you, they also watch you. What are you doing? Right? You have no privacy. You agree? You have no privacy. And what you're doing will all go out. What you're doing in the palace will all go out to the public through these people. These men will never pass the information to others. It's amazing. So effective. Just 700 rupees is so effective. Whereas, so look, how come that this you get so cheap? Tell me, how come? How come that you get so,
Massive product.
Because of the mass production. You're getting it? If your mom is to make this just for you, it'll cost you no doubt billions of dollars. You agree? Billions of dollars. How? Plastic is involved. Metal is involved. So, plastic you get from the petroleum. Metal you get from the iron ore, the mining. And mining, how many people died there? Petroleum, how many people died? It's so expensive. The people who are working there in the petroleum, where petroleum is extracted in the oceans, they are paid very highly because their life is so risky. They can die any time because the water just washes away. You die. So, if your mother is to just make this just for you, it can cost you billions of dollars, and your mother cannot afford it. But you get this so cheap. How come? Well, same product is made like in thousands and thousands and thousands. So therefore it becomes very cheap. So how come that the mass production happens? What do you mean by mass production, doctor? What do you mean by mass production? Same
Same
produced
product is made many times.
many times, and
There are many consumers.
so
They're not make medicine.
how come that? Okay, we have to ask the here, Sejala. How come that? How come that the, for example, like okay, so that these people they become so rich with one fan. If you get just 2 rupees profit, then you produce 2 million. Then 2 million, 4 million you get profit, right? Oh, I produce this, then your whole business shuts down because there's no buyer, no customers. So, because of the customers, the mass production makes sense. You agree? And who are the customers? All these so many customers buying the same product. Where are the customers? Do you know them? We don't know them. These are known as the neutral beings. It's because of the neutral beings that we get the privilege of all these small things. Otherwise, to be customized for you, it can be like billions of dollars, and you can just have a luxury of using this at such a low price. Okay. So likewise, the pen that you were saying. Okay. Let's say the Dorji, your pen. Show that too. What do you think is the cost of this pen? 20 rupees.
60 rupees.
60 rupees. So let's say, just think of this. I give some examples, and your job is to think of many other examples, because that what I notice, what you notice can be different, and what you notice, if you bring in your meditation, that will be very powerful. So seeing is believing. So this pen, okay, let's say, children, your pen. How much is this? Tell me, guess. 5 rupees. It's like 5 rupees here. Show it. Okay, just 5 rupees. How costly is that? It's very, very, very cheap. And if this pen was existent 2,000 years, 3,000 years, 4,000 years ago, no doubt this pen will go in the treasure house of the kings and queens. You know why? Because this pen, what kind of pen they used in those days? The quill, the feather, the quill. Quill, which is more effective, this pen or the quill? Wait, there's no comparison. The quill, just you have to again dip it in the ink, and again you said, oh, it's very uneven. You're getting it? Professional people, they write it, they may be able to write it evenly. Otherwise, we write it very uneven. Sometimes very thick ink, sometimes very less ink. Whereas this is very evenly. So, again the same thing. If this is to be customized for you by your parents, it can cost you billions of dollars. Again, same. The plastics, the metals, and the machines to make this. The metals, the way the metals are being melted. Just think of that. No doubt it costs you billions of dollars. How come that you get it very cheap? Because the same products are produced on a mass scale. Why? Because there are so many people buying the same product. So therefore this is. So all the benefits that we get, which your mother, your parents cannot afford. So these we get because of the innumerable people who we don't know. This is known as the large scale short-term benefit. It's short-term. It's not long-term, because that we use it, and then maybe after a few months the ink is over, you have to throw this, or you have to refill it. So therefore, what I'm saying is not the long-lasting. Okay. Now these are the benefits that we get from the neutral beings. So the more we think of this, we see that neutral beings are extremely beneficial for us. So your affection will grow. When you think like this, then affection grows to neutral beings. Then your reaction to the common person in the street, or your reaction is going to be very different. Otherwise, when we don't think about these things, your reaction can be like, I'm very independent, who are you? This is our reaction. But when you see the benefit of this, for example, like in the street, some streets are very quiet, some streets are a little busy. Okay, say, which is more dangerous? streets which is quiet, no people seen around, versus people once in a while you see people running here and there. Which is safer? Huh? Huh? Where you see people running here and there more frequently. Quiet people, the quiet places, these are the places where the robbers can easily get there. Gangsters can be there. So when you are with the crowded in a crowded place, you feel safe. You feel safe. Who gave you the sense of safety? Okay, tell me that at the airport, usually at the airports, how do you see that somebody is, oh, that must be a VVIP? How do you know that? Anyone? Raise hands. Raise hands. Yes.
There are lots of bodyguards.
Bodyguards. Okay, when you see somebody escorted with many bodyguards, you say this must be VVIP. What do you mean by bodyguards? What for? Bodyguards. Hey, Salam what? For protection. You're getting it? And how many of you, when you go to airport, how many of you take bodyguards with you? You also need protection. But you are protected. When you're just on your own, you're just by yourself and everywhere is empty, it's very scary. You getting it? But at the airport, crowded people, you feel secured. Who gave you the protection? The people around you. People around you, they give the protection. So they are your bodyguard. They are serving as a bodyguard. You agree? Even if you don't label them as a bodyguard, they are serving as a bodyguard for you. They are giving the protection. And the bodyguards of the VVIP are very complicated. You have to feed them. You have to pay them. You agree? And you go to the loo, they will also come in the loo. Very complicated. Your bodyguards are amazing. Yes, of course. Your bodyguards are amazing. They will, when you go to the loo, they will not come. And you don't have to feed, they will feed themselves. When you meet them, they come. When you don't need them, you go to your room, they will not come. It's amazing. And that is for free. And you get the protection. That's amazing. If you don't think of this, it's like a joke. If you think of this, seriously, that's really, really, really bodyguard. Extremely effective, cost effective, where you have no cost involved. And it is more effective than the bodyguards who are being paid like huge amount of salaries. It's amazing. Okay. One time, same place here. I think here, yes. There was one girl, when talking about this, I talked about the train experience. So how many of you are fed up going in the crowded train? Reasons? Okay, fed up. So next time, I talked about this crowded train versus a train where there's just a very less number of people. And if you have no experience, you will say, oh, crowded train is not good. I prefer less number of people, my privacy. And I said that, no, you have no experience. You have to experience that. Then after the teaching, this girl told me that she had this real life experience of that. She said that first when the train is very crowded and in the ordinary train. Then she said that she promised herself to buy the first class train ticket so that she can avoid this crowd. So next time she bought the first class train ticket. In the train, it's totally empty, just by herself in a big compartment. She was so scared. Anybody can break in. Anybody. There's nobody there to protect you. Anybody. Whole night she could not sleep. Then from the third time, she never got a ticket for first class. She got the ordinary ticket, and when people crowded, she was so happy. So look, where you don't have the experience, then this is a problem. When you have the experience, you will feel grateful to the people who are in this crowd. So, who are these people? We don't know. These are neutral beings who give you protection, which are actually other people, VVIP, they seek the help of them and they have to be paid a lot. And then it's so effective in your case, and where you don't pay. These are neutral beings because of which you are getting the incredible, the protection. So we see that all the large-scale short-term benefits you get from the neutral beings. And then let's say today, for example, we are in India and places very safe, very safe. We can complain here, there. But overall speaking, think of back like 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, everywhere in the world, not just India, everywhere, Europe, wars are happening. In Tibet, China, Mongolia, wars are happening. India, all the small kingdoms, they were fighting wars. And how many people are killed? And wars can any time. Today, we can predict something. Oh, now they are declaring war. And then some other countries, they are supporting, they're raising the voice against. It's not the... But in those days, no such warnings. Anybody can just come and they raid your kingdom, killed, anytime. And then so it happens so often, totally unpredictable in those days. And today is much, much better because there is a system developed within the span of like thousands of years. So how we, India for example, say, how we feel safe, how we can be very safely be together here because of the borders. The borders, they are the people there who were risking their life. And do you know these people? The soldiers, do you know this on the border? We don't know them. It's because of them that we're getting the protection. And these people, how they survive there. How about this? No, but not that, I want to protect you, I'll go there to protect you. No. Because they have to, for their livelihood. For the livelihood, somebody has to pay. Who's paying them? The government is paying. Where does the government get the money from? Public, again, money. So this public, do you know this public? And also there's a system here. The system, as the government, as the bureaucrats, and as the soldiers, the army. So there's all these systems are there. Who created the system? Even to create the system, it took like many 1,000 years to gradually develop this sophisticated system. So, who did it? So millions of people, generation to generation, this is involved. That now we have this system and we can now stay very relaxed. For example, like say India, if it is a very small country, anybody can invade very easily. Nothing. For example, Tibet, invaded, and then when I was a little boy, we just live in the illusion. Oh, somebody can come to protect. No, not very easy. Not easy. Now look at now we can see the world scenario. Nobody can do anything. So when a bigger countries there invade you, so India, this is a very safe place. So because of this, why? Because of the system, very good system. And India, comparing with some other countries where the constitution is not strong, where the Indian constitution is very strong. Of course, if it is 100% perfect, that even the American constitution is considered to be very developed. Even that is not perfect. Look what's happening. Constitution is just the overlooked. This is what is happening. But overall speaking, the system is developed. So this is what I'm saying. So with this mind, this is known as the short-term, large-scale short-term benefits we get from the neutral beings. If you think about this more, then your feeling of affection will grow to the neutral beings. So this is where your heart expands. And then small things will not irritate you. Otherwise, small things, so this happening in the neighbor, this happening in the other room, can just irritate you. But when you start to feel the gratitude on a large scale, That will keep you at peace on a large scale. Peace has many levels. Very broad peace, small peace, deep peace, and shallow peace. There are so many kinds of there. So it will give you broad peace. And if the meanings, if the reasons are very profound, it will give a broad and profound peace. Then the small things will not affect you. Okay, finally, long-term lasting benefit. Okay, what is the long-term lasting benefit? Now, zero miseries and 100% happiness. So how to get it? So this you cannot get it outside. Don't look for the lost key under the street light. Lost the key lost in the house. Don't look for this under the street light. So this should be looked, searched for it in the house itself, where it was lost. So likewise, now for the lasting, don't expect external. Externals we can temporarily work on this, but for the lasting you have to work inside. Inside of the two hands, one symbolizing external, other symbolizing internal. External, it is too numerous that we cannot deal with all completely. We have to try our best, but internal we can. Remove the internal, then no sound. Sound becomes zero. Suffering, miseries become zero. And then the happiness can expand to infinity. Okay. So with this, for this, we have to remove the internal departments, afflictive obscurations and accounted obscurations. Okay. And to remove that is done by the wisdom of emptiness. But this wisdom, it depends on, for example, say, this wisdom removes the afflictive obscurations or cognitive obscurations is determined by, hey, say, there are two trees. One tree extremely strong and very huge, and the other tree weak and soft. And there's a cut, there's a big axe which is extremely sharp axis there. And there are two carpenters, one who is lazy and the one who is very, very enthusiastic. And of the two trees, you give them, say, like 1 month to cut. And it was the lazy one. Okay, and you don't know who, in 1 month, one can easily cut this. But after 1 month you go there, only the soft one is cut and big one is left there. So who do you think, you'll guess, who is the one who cut it? The carpenter, lazy, or the good one? Hey, there are two carpenters. It is not philosophy. Lazy and the enthusiastic one with a passion to remove the poisonous tree. Okay, I should specify poisonous tree. Otherwise, otherwise I'll be in problem. Okay. And that true is just, I'm going to show it's not reality. Don't take it too seriously. Okay. So, of the two trees, the poisonous trees, one is very soft, tender, and the other one is very difficult to cut. And if somebody puts a little effort, you can cut easily within, let's say, 10 days. And after 10 days, you go there, and only the soft one is cut, and big one is not cut. Guess who, most likely, who would be with the carpenter, the lazy or the passionate one? Lazy one. You're getting it? Why the lazy one? He does not have the passion to cut this poisonous tree. You're getting it? He's lazy. No passion, no enthusiasm, no motivation. So, of the two motivations, motivation to remove the afflictive obscurations and the motivation to remove the cognitive obscurations, which is more powerful motivation? Hey. Huh? The motivation to remove the cognitive obscuration. What is that motivation? Bodhisattva. Okay, look. So, with this bodhisattva, then you can attain the long-term lasting benefit. Remove all the mental defilements and your Buddha nature inside will manifest completely. That is the bodhisattva. Now for the bodhisattva, the compassion should be unconditional. No factor should be there to hamper your compassion. No factor, no excuse. This compassion should be so profound that it just transcends all factors which otherwise can hamper your compassion. So, which means that you have to identify all the tiny, subtle. What's the opposite of compassion? What's the opposite of bodhicitta? Huh? Nimala. Selfishness, and the girl there, reason. Opposite of compassion. Yes, Rajesh. Hatred, selfishness, anger. These are opposite of compassion. Now, and this hatred, the ground is selfishness. Ground is selfishness. So, you have to identify all the levels of selfishness from the gross to the subtle. And which is more difficult to identify, gross or the subtle? Subtle ones are more difficult to be diagnosed. For example, you have the illness. For example, say you have a sharp pain here in your thigh, which happened to me recently. Very sharp pain on a thigh. These are very gross. So like a subtle tumor. We don't know. So for this we need the help of the very expert doctors. Even doctors, they cannot really diagnose very easily. For example, like one of my friends, he had some lump somewhere, and he sought the help of first doctor. Doctor said, no, this is just a temporary thing to go away. He went to the second doctor, third doctor. Everybody said the same thing. Then finally he had to go somewhere. He had to leave his place for a long time. And then his friend, who is not a doctor, said that, hey, now you do one thing. Since you're going out for a long term, you make sure that you don't face any problem there. Because where you are now is your home place. Where you go, the facilities, all this is going to be very complicated. Make sure that you take a biopsy. You take a biopsy, don't just trust the doctors. You just request the doctors to please take a biopsy. And then he requested the doctor to the biopsy. Biopsy taken, it was cancer. So he was treated on time. Otherwise, all the first three doctors, they say, oh, it's something mild. And you can go. If he went, finished, he would have died. So this is what I'm saying. So even the doctors, we see that the doctors should be, the one who is really expert. So likewise, to identify the subtler and subtler illnesses, you require the more and more expert doctors. You agree? Likewise, to identify the subtle and subtle selfishness, we require it's more difficult to identify the subtler selfishness. This is the disease which attracts all the miseries. Okay, now tomorrow we're all leaving, and tomorrow you go back home, and then your mother says, "Oh my, welcome my daughter, welcome my son," right? And the mother would say, "You'll have a cup of tea." What do you say? What do you say? What tea? No latte, no coffee, no cappuccino, no Americano, no espresso, right? And today is very different. Tomorrow is very different. Mother says, "Daughter, cup of tea. Son, cup of tea. Mom, please take it. Please sit. What do you like to have?" Right? The mother couldn't believe. She never said it like before. He never said like before. He never served me tea. So today, saying that, "Mom, tell me, what do you like to have?" He said, "No." What do you call it? The honey, right? But moms, they call it honey sometimes. "Honey, whatever you like to have." No, Mom, you tell me. Whatever you like to have, I'll have that too. And, "Oh, may I have a cup of tea?" "Oh, I'll also have a cup of tea." You should say no tea, right? Latte, cappuccino. So now you say, "I'll also have a cup of tea." And made tea, served tea. Mother was so amazed. Wow, it's a very different girl today. Very different boy. So the mother knows that you came to tell something, but she didn't know what is happening. I said, "Son, what did you do?" "Oh, Bodhisattva class." Bodhisattva class, right? What is Bodhisattva? It must be so good. Yes, it's amazing. Universal compassion. Right? Universal compassion. And the mother said, "Wow, that's amazing. So with this, then what happens? Then one becomes a bodhisattva. You already a bodhisattva, right? Mother thinks that you already a bodhisattva. You're a bodhisattva, and you have such a. Usually, no, mother never saw you after 16 years old or after 20 years old. Mother never saw a smile on her face. She saw a smile on her face when you meet somebody else, not the mother. Now she's seeing a smile on your face, right? Mother's so happy. You're a bodhisattva already, right? And the mother says, okay, if this program happens every year, yes. Can I also join? She's not interested. Just to make you happy. Can I also join? Yes, of course. I'll help you to sign up. Then someone knocks at the door. And he said, hello? And the person opens the door and said, may I talk to you? Yes. Right, usually it's not yes. Why? Now it's very different. Yes. And said that, ma'am, you came and you threw garbage next to my door. And he said, no, sir, I just came now. From Damdul. You came and the garbage came. Right? I said, no. The mother's amazed. Usually you just said, get out. Today you are never saying that. You are saying that, no, you are trying to just be very calm, gentle. Amazing. This girl is real bodhisattva now. And my son is a bodhisattva. Then the man said that, I will sue you. And then gradually bodhisattva disappears. Then said, now enough is enough, get out. Enough. Get out, I will sue you. Get out. Right, get out. And then the mother, okay, it's not really bodhisattva yet. Okay, so you realize that, oh, what happened? So anger already came. I thought I'm a bodhisattva. Now the anger came. So the self-centered attitude there, subtle one. My mother could not diagnose this disease, selfishness. But this neighbor, difficult person, he identifies this. So I need to work on to remove this subtle self-centered attitude. You work on this, and then Bodhisattva came to you, and all the mental defilements are gone, and you become a Buddha. Now nobody can affect you, and who gave you this lasting, the long-term benefit? The difficult person. You getting it? So you said, oh, wow, that's amazing. This is a person who really gave me this bodhicitta, because of which now I'm not affected by any external factors. The peace is 100% guaranteed, happiness 100% guaranteed. So this all comes from somebody who is a difficult person. So therefore, you see that the lasting, long-term happiness the benefit is given to you by your difficult person. Now your mind flows to that person the closest, because that is the one who gives you the greatest of the benefit. And your mind goes closest to that person or to that object which gives you the greatest of the benefit, and that is your difficult person. So now, near and dear ones, you feel close. Neutral beings, you feel so close. The difficult people, you feel the closest. So now there is no enemy left for you. So this is universal compassion. Okay, so this is known as a special recollection mechanism for others. Special recollection. Why special? Because seeing the benefit that you get from the difficult people is something in the conventional world we never think about these. And conventional people is, if you say that, oh, the difficult people that are most kind to you, they say you're crazy. You getting it? So therefore this teaching is said to be maintained confidential. You can share this with people who actually practice this, otherwise not to publicly share this with other people so easily. Because other people may feel aversion to this practice, to the Bodhisattva practice, and because of which they leave a mental tendency to be away from this Bodhisattva practice, and then the tendency for them to become Buddha will be extended. Okay, so this is the special recollection kind. Remember the special recollection kinds of others. What's next? Altruism. So now the thing is that you love everybody so much. Your affection is so universally flowing Now the affection is created. Now when you look at the situation, plight of the sentient beings, everybody is suffering because of self-grasping, ignorance, self-centered attitude. Everybody is suffering. The powerful are suffering. They're opening new chapters of miseries for themselves by inflicting pains on others. And the victims, they suffer by experiencing the torture, the pain from others. So both sides, the perpetrators and victims, both are going through so much of pain. So when you feel this affection towards being, seeing the plight of the beings as suffering, then you wish that may you be freed from suffering. May you have the happiness. That is compassion and loving kindness. So this is not in the step. This is implicit. Then what happens? What is the next? May you be free from suffering. When that comes to you, then what is next? Who will do it? Who will do it? I will do it. That is altruism. Next step, I will do it. So when you say I will do it, then what is your next question? How will you do it? Okay, by becoming Buddha. By becoming Buddha. May I become Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings. This is Bodhisattva. Okay, Britt, you have a question? Yes.
It is about the selfishness.
Yes.
So I wrote it down as what we're talking about it now. For me, there is a kind of contradiction also, like with this subtle and this gross selfishness. Like
Yes.
I want, that's like gross, but sometimes in the spiritual path and also in the part of bodhicitta, we have some needs, like some conditions for some practice or meditation or make the space of being in this kind of retreats. But for that, I see also a kind of selfishness because we need to make that choice, but when we make the choice to be here, we maybe encounter some things at home. So what's the view about that? Because is that can we part that under like the what should I say, like what a contaminated virtue? It's a
Okay, Britt, can you give me a very specific example? Say like what selfishness say, like contaminated selfishness, like let's say with a specific example. Say, I want this room, I want a single room.
Yeah, sometimes we need our space, or we need time for practice, or we have some wishes for some conditions what benefit us in our path. For example, some silence or this kind of retreat.
Okay, let's say that some people they are on a personal retreat. Okay, one time, I must be in 22 or 23 in IBD. I was 22, 23, and in IBD you go to the many of you been to Japan last January recent. Pandala 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So when you're there, say if you have mixed with the monks, particularly those who stayed in the monks' quarter, because of exception given. So there you see that there's so much of free flow happening. Anybody can bump in anybody's room very easily. There's no restriction. Whereas, so this was how I was brought up. And there was one, there was one Western monk, and we were friends. And I just bumped, one morning, I just went to his room and knocked the door. He just opened the door and said, "Don't you know that I'm meditating?" You're getting it? I want private space for my meditation. I should become Buddha for the benefit of you. You're getting it? Okay. So what is this? What is this question? Okay. So we see that we start from the reality. We start from the reality. Don't be ashamed of your reality. The reality Okay, so we have to accept the reality. Reality, what degree of selfishness you have. Sometimes selfishness can be, of course, the seed we bring from the past life. We have the seed from the past life. And in this life, the environment then the feeds. Environment helps you germinate the selfishness. Some environment, they will help you to suppress the selfishness. Some environment will germinate, will reinforce the selfishness. For example, too much of individualistic culture, too much individualist culture, they feed the selfishness. They feed the selfishness. Too much of individualist culture. For example, like say in the East, where there is more like what do you call it, the joint family, huge family, grandfather, grandmother, then the three brothers or five brothers all together, each brother is having their own family all together. Okay. So when you cook food, it's like 40 people cooking food in one pot. So as in some places it's a nuclear family, just the father, mother, and the children. And the children, when they reach age 20, they leave, just a nuclear family. And the grandparents, they live on their own. So, say, the very nuclear, individualistic, it has its own benefit, it has its own demerits. Joint family and so forth, it has its own benefit, its own weakness. It's not that one is perfect, one is totally hopeless. So, but overall speaking, say these subcultures, I wouldn't say this culture, that culture, some, they really, really feed, fester the selfishness environment. And the seed, we already have it from the past life. Whereas if you don't take the seed, wherever you are, you can just grow to a very compassionate person, wherever you are. In the West, East, wherever. In Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam, or say Jainism, Sikhism, or Christianity, or Judaism, wherever, there are incredibly beautiful people out there, so kind people are there. So what I'm saying is that this way, when I say this, so the first thing, the most important thing is what the environment is one thing, and what you are, you have to acknowledge yourself. What level of selfishness you have. For example, like, don't you know that I am meditating? No doubt the selfishness is so deep. You getting it? So deep. Whereas, okay, you're meditating, and then say you can hear somebody talking there, it disturbs you. Yes, it just, I wish that this person doesn't disturb me. So there, the selfishness is there. It's there. But it doesn't mean that simply because there's a selfishness doesn't mean that this is something you have to discard it. You're getting it? So, say the water, what do you call it? STD, there's the purity of the water. To check the purity of cleanliness, the purity of water. Huh? TDS. So, TDS, say at the 40, the water is drinkable. Water is drinkable, not drinkable. TDS 40. Okay, many of you may not know. TDS 40 is drinkable. No. So more than 50. I would say in Delhi, more than 70 or 80 is drinkable. More than 70, 80 is not drinkable. Less than 70 is drinkable. Best would be like 50, 40, 20. This. So, 20, even if it's 20, still there's impurities there. You're getting it? Impurity is still there. Impurity is still there. So, simply because there's impurity, it doesn't mean that don't drink it. Then you will die. So, you have to drink it. It's fine for you. So what I'm saying is that you have to go from gate, paragate. Bread, is it good? That if somebody is in gate, paragate, good or bad? Bread, is it good or bad? Gate, paragate, when you reach that level, you're improving. Paragate is good or Bad.
Improving.
Improving, yes. Good. Very good, of course. Where people prostrate to you, when you reach that, you're getting it. But you're not perfect. You still have to go parasangate. You still go bodhiswaha. It's not like gate bodhiswaha. Oh, mantra, what's the mantra? Hey, what's the mantra? Gate bodhiswaha. What's the mantra? Gate, parasamgate. This is how we have to go. You're getting it? So therefore, simply because it is imperfect doesn't mean that you discard it. So from what is imperfection, from there go to the next. Go still next. And deep inside you have the purest form. So remove the dirt. Remove the dirt. So you have the basic necessities for meditation. Environment is required. Okay, good. Yes. Shinzala.
Okay, to add to the example that you shared about the monk who said Dorji on meditating. So in this, thank you. So in this example, when we face somebody else, let's say, who's doing that, and of course, people like me whose practice is not at the level where, how do we respond to something like that? And if we're especially dealing with this on a daily basis, like this was somebody who perhaps you were meeting regularly. So if it's somebody we have to have an extended period of time, like contact with, how do we manage that?
Is that you who says that I am meditating, or somebody else is saying I am meditating? So just say that, thank you, very good, meditate. You're getting it? And try to keep a little distance. Keep a little distance. And once when his temper goes down, temper is much better, then you talk to somebody else saying that the real mark of the Dharma is under any situation, your mind is calm, right? And you are actually telling that person. You're getting it, let the person hear this. And also, the texts like 37 Pairs of Bodhisattvas, where they say, what is anger? How anger should be shunned, and so forth. So all these things, and of course the fact that the person is married, even that is amazing. If the person not meditating, the person would be very different. Worse than that. Even that we should be feeling grateful. And we have to support that person. Help that person by letting him identify that this is not correct. So what happened was that, there was, when I was in school, there was a school. When I was in school, before I joined the Institute of Buddhist Dialectics. And I was thinking of becoming a physicist. And maybe 4 or 5 years senior to me, there was one gentleman, a senior boy. So later, he went into worldly life as a world meaning as like some profession, like the lab technician and so forth. And then after a while, his mind turned to spirituality. Then he turned to Buddhism, more or less seriously into Buddhism. And he's a very happy person, extremely humorous, very happy, always cracking jokes. And then with his years of being in Dharma, and as a lay practitioner, then he started to gather, that people start to come close to him. They become, his students. And still, for him, there's no ego that I'm a teacher, you are a student like this. It's very same. Still very humorous, very funny, very, cracking jokes. And one time he was invited by his students to, I think, Germany, just for a short teaching tour. And he was invited for a meal in a hotel, in a big hotel. And students, maybe about 10 students, and he was the teacher. And they ordered the food. And all his students ordered vegetarian food, and only the teacher ordered non-veg food. And the students know that he will never feel offended, whatever you say. They're like friends rather than teacher-student. And one student told the teacher that, sir, so here we're a group, and you are a teacher, and we are your students. And all the students ordered vegetarian food, and only the teacher ordered non-veg food. So, because the students say no, that he's a very easygoing person. And he just gave a massive laughter. Ha 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 ha. He said that. He just give a laugh. You are very lucky that I'm Buddhist. He said that you are very lucky that I'm Buddhist. If I'm not Buddhist, I'll not eat the non-veg food. I'll eat you up. Buddhism protect me from not eating you. Now it reduced to just non-veg food. Why I'm eating non-veg, not you, is because of Buddhism. If not for Buddhism, I will eat you up. You're getting it? So this is improvement. Okay. So likewise, somebody who's saying that, don't you know that I'm meditating? And this is meditating, try his best. If not met with meditation system, then he would be really, really very nasty. So therefore, this we have to appreciate and also help him. Because the fact that he is coming into the Buddhism, which means that he has a desire to change. So there we need help. When you help doesn't mean, you have to practice well. Then again we will say that it's not your business. You can get, you have to do it very skillfully. Okay. So now what I will do is that I will do a reading of this, and meanwhile you try to, by the way, till about the 90 verses, verse number 9, around verse number 90 is like setting the environment for the mental environment and the physical environment for your meditation, to create a conducive the environment for the meditation mentally and physically. Then from verse 90 down 1991, then what we meditate on will be explained. Okay, I'll slowly read this, and this will be very beneficial for us. Okay. A Guided Bodhisattva of Life, by Chapter 8, Meditation. Having developed enthusiasm in this way, I should place my mind in concentration. For the man whose mind is distracted dwells between the fangs of disturbing conceptions. So, how to prepare your mind, and then it will also teach us how to prepare the environment for proper meditation. Number 2, but through solitude of body and mind, no distractions will occur. Therefore, I should forsake the worldly life and completely discard distorted conceptions. This conception is afflictions. Worldly life is not forsaken because of the attachment to people and due to craving for material gain and the like. Therefore, I should entirely forsake these things, for this is the way in which the wise behave. Having, okay, turbulent.
He's bringing
Oh, that's better. Thank you. Number 4. Having understood that disturbing conceptions are completely overcome by superior insight, endowed with superior insight is the special insight, endowed with calm abiding, the shamatha. First of all, I should search for calm abiding. This is achieved through the calm abiding is the single point meditation. Special insight is the analytical meditation. First of all, I should search for calm abiding. This is achieved through the genuine joy of these unattached to worldly life. Because of the obsession one's transcendent being has for other transcendent beings, he will not see his beloved ones again for many thousands of lives. Not seeing them, I'm unhappy, and my mind cannot be settled in equipoise. Even if I see them, there is no satisfaction, and as before, I'm tormented by craving. Through being attached to living beings or other the sentient beings, I'm completely obscured from the perfect reality. My disillusion with psychic existence perishes, and in the end, I'm tortured by sorrow. By thinking only of them, this life will pass without any meaning. Furthermore, impermanent friends and relatives will even destroy the Dharma, which leads to permanent liberation. If I behave in the same way as the childish, I shall certainly proceed to the lower realms, and if I'm led there by those unequal to the noble ones, what is the use of entrusting myself to the childish? One moment they're friends, what is the childish person? What is the childish companion? One moment they're friends, and in the next instant they become enemies. Since they become angry, even in joyful situations, it is difficult to please ordinary people. They are angry when something of benefit is said, and they also turn me away from what is beneficial. If I do not listen to what they say, they become angry and hence proceed to lower realms. They are envious of superiors, competitive with equals, arrogant towards the inferiors, conceited when praised, and if anything unpleasant is said, they become angry. Never is any benefit derived from the childish. Through associating with the childish, they will certainly ensure unwholesomeness, such as praising myself and belittling others, and discussing the joys of psychic existence. Dividing myself and others in this way will bring about nothing but misfortune, because they will not benefit me and I shall not benefit them. I should flee far away from childish people when they are encountered, though I should please them by being happy. I should behave well, merely out of courtesy, but not become greatly familiar. In the same way as bee takes honey from a flower, I should take merely what is necessary for the practice of Dharma, but remain unfamiliar as though I had never seen them before. I have much material wealth as well as honor, and many people like me nourish from self-importance in this way. I should be made terrified after death. So, your thoroughly confused mind, by the departing above whatever objects you attach to, misery 1,000-fold will ensue. Hence, the wise should not be attached, because fear is born from attachment. With a firm mind, understand well that is the nature of these things to be discarded. Although I may have much material wealth, be famous and well spoken of, whatever fame and renown I have amassed has no power to accompany me after death. If there is someone who despises me, what pleasure can I have in being praised? And if there is another who praises me, what displeasure can I have in being despised? If, even the contrary, the Buddha was unable to please the various inclinations of the different beings, then what need to mention of an evil person such as I? Therefore, I should give up the intention to associate with the worldly. They scorn those who have no material gain, and say bad things about those who do. And how can they, who are by nature so hard to get along with, ever derive any pleasure from me? It has been said by the Tathagatas that one should not befriend the childish, because unless they get their own way, these childish are never happy. When shall I come to dwell in forest? Okay, now is the creating a proper physical environment. When shall I come to dwell in forest? Amongst the deer, the birds, and the trees, they say nothing unpleasant and are delightfully associated with. When dwelling in caves, in empty shrines, and at the feet of trees, never look back, cultivate detachment. When shall I come to dwell, not some, come to dwell in places not clung to as mine, which are by nature wide and open, and where I may behave as I wish without attachment. When shall I come to live without fear, having just a begging bowl and a few odd things, wearing clothes not wanted by anyone, and not even having to hide this body? Having departed to the cemeteries, when shall I come to understand that this body of mine and the skeletons of others are equal in being subject to decay? Then, because of its odor, not even the foxes odor your body smell from death, not even the foxes will come close to this body of mine, for this body will become of it. Although this body arose as one thing, the bones and the flesh with which it was created will break up and separate. How much more so will friends and others? At birth I was born alone, and at death too I shall die alone. As this pain cannot be shared by others, what use of still making friends? In the same way as travelers on a highway leave one place and reach another, likewise those traveling on the path of conditioned existence with samsara leave one birth and reach another, unless the time comes for this body to be supported by the pallbearers, which means the dead body carried by 4 people, while the worldly stand around stricken with grief. Until then, I shall retire to the forest. Befriending no one and begrudging no one, my body will dwell alone in solitude. If I'm already counted as a dead man, when I die, there will be no mourners. And as there will be no one around to disturb me with their mourning, thus there will be no one to distract me from my recollection of the Buddha. Therefore, I shall dwell alone, happy and contented, with few difficulties, in very joyful and beautiful forests, pacifying all distractions. Having given up all the other intentions, and being motivated by only one thought, I shall strive to settle my mind in equipoise by means of calm abiding, and to subdue it with superior insight. Both in this world and the next, desire give rise to great misfortune. In this life, killing, bondage, flaying, and the next, the existence of the hells. For the sake of women or the opposite gender, many requests are first. These are proposals. First of all, made through go-betweens. All forms of evils and even notoriety are not avoided for their sake. I engage in a fearful deeds for them and will even consume my wealth. But these very bodies of theirs that I greatly enjoy in the sexual embrace are nothing other than skeletons. They are not autonomous and are identityless. Rather than being so desirous and completely obsessed, why do you not go to the state beyond sorrow instead? In the first place, I made efforts to lift her veil, and when it was raised, she bashfully looked down. And previously, whether anyone looked or not, her face was covered, with a cloth. But now, why do I run away when you see the opposite gender die? Why do I run away upon directly beholding this face that disturbs the mind as it is being revealed to me by the vultures? Previously, I completely protected her body or his body. When others cast their eyes upon it, why, miser, do you not protect it now while it is being devoured by the birds? Since vultures and others are eating this part of meat that I behold, why did I offer flower garlands, sandalwood, and ornaments to that which is now the food of others? If I am frightened by the skeletons I see now, even though they do not move, why am I not frightened by the walking corpses, which are moved around by a few impulses? Although I am attached to it when it is covered with skin, why do I not desire it when it is uncovered? Since I have no need for it, then why copulate with it when it is covered? Since both excrement and saliva arise solely from food, why do I dislike the excrement and find joy in saliva? Cotton too is soft to the touch, but while I found no sexual delight in the pillow, I think that the opposite gender's body does not emit a putrid odor. Lustful one, you are confused as to what is unclean, thinking that they cannot sleep with this cotton, although it is soft to the touch. Confused, negative, and lustful people become angry towards it instead. If I am not attached to what is unclean, then why do I copulate with the lower parts of others' bodies, which are merely cages of bones tied together with muscles, plastered over with the mud of flesh? I myself contain many unclean things which I constantly have to experience. So why, because of an obsession for uncleanliness, do I desire other bags of filth? But it is the flesh that I enjoy. If this is what I wish to touch and behold, why do I not desire it in its natural state, devoid of any mind? Furthermore, any mind that I may desire is unable to be touched or behold, and whatever I am able to touch will not be mental. So why indulge in this meaningless copulation? It is not so strange that I do not understand the bodies of others to be of an unclean nature, but it is indeed strange that I do not understand my own very body to be the nature unclean. Having forsaken the young lotus flower unfolded by beams of sunlight free from cloud, why with the mind craving for what is unclean do I revel in a cage of filth? Since I do not wish to touch a place that is smeared with excrement, then why do I wish to touch the body from which the excrement arose? If I am not attached to what is unclean, why do I copulate with the lower parts of others' bodies, which arise from the unclean field of a womb and are produced by the seeds within it? I have no wish for a small, dirty maggot which has come from a part of filth. So why do I desire this body which by nature is grossly unclean? For it too was produced by filth. Not only do I not disparage the uncleanliness of my own body, but because of an obsession to what is unclean, I desire other bags of filth as well. Even attractive things such as savory foods, cooked rice and vegetables make the ground dirty and unclean should they sped out after being in the mouth. Although such an uncleanliness is obvious, if I still have doubts, I should go to the cemeteries and look at the unclean bodies of others that have been thrown away there. Having realized that when the skin is rent open, they give rise to the great deal of fear. How will such things as these ever again give rise to joy? The sense with which somebody's body is anointed are sandalwood and the like, but not that of the other's body. So why am I attached to others' bodies? Because of a sense that are other than theirs. Since the body has a naturally foul odor, isn't it good to be unattached to it? Or do those crave for the meaningless things of the world anoint this body with a pleasant sense? And furthermore, if it is a pleasant scent of sandalwood, how can it come from the body? So why am I attached to others' bodies? Because of sense that are other than theirs. Since the naked body left in its natural state is very frightening due to the long hairs and nails, its yellowish foul-smelling teeth, and its being coated with the odor of dirt, why do I make such an effort to polish it like cleaning a weapon that will cause me harm? Hence, this entire world is disturbed with insanity due to the exertions of those who are confused about themselves. When my mind arises above worldly concerns, through having beheld nothing but skeletons in the cemetery, will there be any joy in graveyard cities which are reeled with moving skeletons? Furthermore, these unclean female bodies or the male bodies are not found without paying a price. In order to obtain them, I exhaust myself in future. I will be injured in the hells. As a child, I am unable to increase my wealth, and as a youth, what can I do, being unable to afford a wife or a husband? At the end of my life, when I have the wealth, being an old man or old women, what good will the sex be there? Some even lustful people were themselves out by working all day, and when they return home in the evenings, the exhausted bodies lie prostrate like corpses. Some have the suffering of being disturbed with travel and having to go a long way from home. Although they long for their spouses, they do not see them for years at a time. And some who wish for benefit due to confusion, even sell themselves for the sake of the women or men like, but not attaining what they wish. They are aimlessly driven by the winds of others' actions. Some sell their own bodies and without any power are employed by others. Even when their wives gives birth, their children fall at the feet of trees and his lonely places. Some fools are deceived by desire, wishing for a livelihood, think, I shall earn my living as a soldier. Then all they're afraid of losing their lives, they go to war. Others become slaves for the sake of profit. Some lustful people even cut their bodies. Others impale themselves on the points of sticks. Some stab themselves with daggers, and others burn themselves. Such things as these are quite apparent. Due to the torment involved in collecting it, protecting, and finally losing it, I should realize well that to be fraught with infinite problems. Those who are distracted by their attachment to it have no opportunity to gain freedom from the miserable conditioned existence. In the same way as animals drawing carriages are only capable to eat a few mouthfuls of grass, likewise desirous people having many disadvantages such as these and little profit, and since even animals can obtain this little profit, those who are pained by the previous actions waste their leisures and endowments so difficult to find for the sake of something trivial that is not so scarce. The objects of desire will certainly perish, and then I shall fall into hellish states. But Buddhahood itself is attained with just 1 million of the difficulty involved in continually exhausting myself for the sake of what is not very great. Hence the desires experience greater miseries than those following the awakening way of life. But for them, there is no awakening. When having contemplated the miseries of hell, it will be clear that there is nothing incomparable to the harm caused by desirous beings, by weapons, poisons, fire, ravens, and foes. Having in this way developed disillusion with desire, I should generally joy for solitude. The fortunate ones strolled in peaceful forests, devoid of disputes and disturbing conceptions. Then live in joyful houses of vast flat stones, cooled by the scented moonlight, fanned by the peaceful silent forest breeze. Think of what is benefit for others. They dwell for as long as they wish in empty houses, at the feet of trees and caves. Having abandoned the pain of clinging to and guarding possessions, they abide independent, free of care. Living as they choose, desireless, having no ties with anyone, even the powerful have difficulty finding a life as happy and content as this. Having in such ways as these thought about the excellence of solitude, I should contemplate completely pacified distorted conceptions. And what to meditate on? Now the topic, bodhicitta, and meditate on the awakened mind, which is bodhicitta. Okay, now what is bodhicitta? First of all, I should make an effort to meditate upon the equality, equalizing self and others. Between self and others, I should protect all beings as to myself, because we are all equal in wanting pleasure and not wanting pain. Although there are many different parts and aspects, such as the hands, as a body that is to be protected, they are one. Likewise, all the different sentient beings in the pleasures and the pain have a wish to be happy, and that is the same as mine. The suffering that I experience doesn't cause any harm to others, but the suffering of mine is mine because of my conceiving of myself as I, thereby it becomes unbearable. Likewise, the miseries of others does not befall me. Nevertheless, by conceiving of others as I, the suffering becomes mine. Therefore, it too should be hard to bear. Hence, I should dispel the misery of others because it is suffering just like my own, and I should benefit others because they are sentient beings just like myself. When both myself and others are similar in that we wish to be happy, what is so special about me? Why do we strive for the happiness alone? And when both myself and others are similar in what we do wish to suffer, what we do not wish to suffer, what is so special about me? Why do I protect myself and not others? But why should I protect them? If the suffering does not cause me any harm, then why protect myself against future suffering if it doesn't cause me harm now? It is a mistaken conception to think that I shall experience the suffering of my next life, for it is another person who dies and another that will be reborn. Surely, whenever there is suffering, the sufferer must protect himself from it, but the suffering of the foot is not in that of hand. Why then does the hand go to protect the suffering of the foot? Although this may not be justified, it is done because of the grasping of the self, but surely whatever is not justified for myself or others should at all costs be rejected. Such things as a continuum and aggregation of ourself, are false, in the same way as the rosary and as army. There's no real owner of suffering, therefore who has control over it. So there's no real owner of the suffering, meaning there's no independent self, objective self to stay. It's just like an illusion, like a dream. 102. Being no inherent owner of suffering, there is no objective owner of suffering, there can be no distinction at all between that of myself and others. Thus, I shall dispel it because it hurts. And why am I so certain that I shouldn't eliminate the suffering of others? But since neither the suffering nor the sufferer truly exists, why should I turn away the misery of all? This is no ground for argument, for if I prevent my own suffering, surely I should prevent the suffering of all. If not, since I'm just like other sentient beings, I should not prevent my own suffering either. But since this compassion will bring me much misery, this is what many people think, that to feel compassion towards others, it gives me pain. Why should I exert myself to develop this compassion? Should I contemplate the suffering of many living creatures, how could the misery of compassion be more? If by one person's suffering, the suffering of many would be destroyed, surely kind-hearted people would accept it for the sake of themselves and others. Thus the Bodhisattva Subhashchandra, although aware of the harm the king would cause him, accepted his own suffering in order to eradicate the miseries of many. Thus, because he loves to pacify the pains of others, he whose mind is attuned to this way should enter even the deepest hell, just as a wild goose plunges into the lotus pool. Will not the ocean of joy that shall exist when all beings are free be sufficient for me? What am I doing wishing for my own liberation alone? Huh?
Shall I read it?
No. It's a transmission. It's not just a reading. Okay. Therefore, although the working for the benefit of others, I should not be conceited or consider myself wonderful, and because of the joy there is in solely doing this, I should have no hope for any ripening effect. Therefore, just as I protect myself from unpleasant things, however small, or in the same way I should act towards others with a compassionate and caring mind. Although the base is quite impersonal, through constant familiarity, I've come to regard the drops of sperm and the blood of others as mine, as I. Your body is formed from the substance from the parents, and you say that it's I now. So in the same way, why should I be unable to, unable to regard the bodies of others as I. Hence, it is not difficult to see that my body is also that of others. Having seen the mistakes in cherishing myself and the ocean of good in cherishing others, I should completely reject all selfishness and accounts of myself to accepting others. In the same way as the hands and so forth are regarded as limbs of the body, likewise, why are embodied creatures not regarded as limbs of life? Through acquaintance has the thought of I arisen from this impersonal body. So in a similar way, why should it not arise towards other living beings? When I work in this way for the sake of others, I should not let conceit or the feeling that I'm wonderful arise. It is just like feeding myself. I hope for nothing in return. So this is that we are when we help others, we may get a feeling that, oh, I'm helping others, I'm doing a favor for you. But when you feed yourself with the breakfast, you don't feel that you're doing a favor for myself. So it's the same way you should feel. You will feel the same thing to others. 1:7. Therefore, just as I protect myself from unpleasant things, however slight, in the same way I should habituate myself to have a compassionate mind, to be compassionate and caring mind for others. It is out of his great compassion that the Lord Avalokiteshvara has even blessed his name to dispel the nervousness of being among other people. I should not turn away from what is difficult, for by the power of familiarity I may be made unhappy even when someone whose name once frightened me is not around. Thus, whoever wishes to quickly afford protection to both himself and other beings should practice that holy secret, exchanging oneself for others. So this teaching of the exchange of for others is to be seen as secret or confidential. Because of attachment to my body, even a small object of fear frightens me. So who would not revile as an enemy this body that gives rise to fear? By wishing for a means to remedy the hunger, thirst, and stricken of the body, I might kill birds, fish, and deer, and loiter by the sides of the roads to rob others. If for the sake of his profit and comfort, I would kill even my father and mother, and steal the property of the true gem, then I would undoubtedly proceed to burn the flames of the deepest hell. Therefore, what wise men would desire, protect, and venerate this body? Who would not scorn it and regard it as an enemy? If I give this, what shall I have left to enjoy? Such selfish thinking is the way of a ghost. If I enjoy this, what shall I have left to give? Such selfless thinking is the quality of the gods. If for my own sake I cause harm to others, I shall be tormented to hellish realms. But if for the sake of others I cause harm to myself, I shall acquire all that is magnificent. By holding myself in high esteem, I shall find myself in unpleasant realms, ugly and stupid. But should this attitude be shifted to others, exchange, I shall acquire honors in a joyful realm. If I employ others for my own purpose, I myself shall experience servitude. But if I use myself for the sake of others, I shall experience only lordliness. Whatever joy there is in this world, all this summary. Whatever joy there is in this world, all comes from desiring others to be happy, and whatever suffering there is in the world, all comes from desiring happiness, myself to be happy. What need is there to say much more? The childish work for their own benefit, the Buddha's work for the benefit of others. Just look at the difference between them. If I do not actually exchange my happiness for the suffering of others, I shall not attain the state of Buddhahood, and even cyclic existence shall have no joy, let alone what is beyond this world, because my servants doing no work, and because of my masters giving me no pay, even the needs of this life will not be fulfilled. By rejecting a method that establishes both foreseeable and unforeseeable joy, I cast magnificent delight completely aside, and then because of inflicting misery on others, in confusion, I seize hold of unbearable pains. If all the injury, fear, the pain in this world arise from grasping the self, then what use is that great goes to me? If I do not completely forsake this, I shall be unable to put an end to suffering, just as I cannot avoid being burnt if I do not cast aside the fire I hold. Therefore, in order to allay the harms inflicted upon me, and in order to pacify the suffering of others, I shall give myself up to others and cherish them as I do very self. I'm under the control of others. Of this mind you must be certain. Now, except for benefiting every creature, you must not think of anything else. For my own sake, I should not do anything with these eyes and so forth that I've left at the disposal of others. It is quite incorrect to do anything with them which is contrary to the benefit of others. Thus, sentient beings should be my main concern. Whatever I behold upon my body, I should rob and use for the benefit of others, considering lesser beings and so forth as myself, and considering myself as other. In the following way, I should meditate upon envy, competitiveness, and selfish importance. Okay, I'm going to quickly explain this. So it says that I'll meditate upon envy, I'll meditate upon competitiveness, and I'll meditate upon self-importance. So what is this? This is to be understood in it is a very powerful method to undermine the selfishness. So you project yourself as others, and you project others as you, and you as others, and then you looking at others. Okay, so there are two methods taught. One which is easier to understand would be like, say you put yourself as A and all the other sentient beings as B. And then you take the side of these sentient beings. You don't take the side of yourself. So which means you are condemning this self-cherishing. So you are supporting others. You are not supporting self. And you, the second you are as the judge. And you are judge. You are supporting all the other beings, and you are not supporting the self. You say that I should be jealous of you because you are being praised by many other people. And we, this team sentient beings, we are many, but we are not praised. You are praised. If you become great, wealthy, powerful, whatever. So then you see yourself as there and feel the jealousy. Jealousy towards the selfishness. Do you get it?
Can you explain
Something? Okay, let me say this once more. Let's say, you have an excessive, excessive attachment to the self, as of self-cherishing. And the others and I, who's more important? I'm more important. This is our mindset, ordinary people's mindset. Now, what is taught is that you say, instead of cherishing self is very, don't forget it. First I should say that self is very important. Self is important. This self can become Buddha. But selfishness is coming in the facade of guarding you, protecting you, but actually harming you. So this practice is to demolish your selfishness, not the self. You're getting it? This practice is to demolish your selfishness. Self is demolished, and this self is raised the level of Buddhahood. So why this self is not become Buddha? It's because of the selfishness. So you're trying to destroy the selfishness. So how do you destroy the selfishness? Self and selfishness, they're not two entities. You're getting it? They're not two entities. So say you said that I am very important. You just say the opposite. Others are very important. You're getting it? And when in the normal sense, what happens? When you're praised, you're happy, not happy. You're very happy. When others are praised, you're a little unhappy. Right? When others are doing better, you feel jealous. When there are people who are doing better than you, you feel jealous. When people are equal to you, you feel competitive. Yes, no? Okay, no? UPSC. Or let's say that there are 3 people competing for the same job. For the same job. All 3 of you are the same. You're getting it? Only one person gets a job. So you feel competitive with the other 2. You're getting it? Very complicated. Very complicated. Okay. So with equal sense of competition. With, say, the inferior, you have a sense of ego. You're getting it? I'm not saying everybody has this. Normally, this is how, the selfishness, it works like this. So for superior, there is jealousy. For the equal, there's a competition. For the inferior, there is sense of ego. I'm superior. There's ego there. Now, and who's making you to behave like this? These 3 ways. Selfishness. So now you are trying to demolish this selfishness. So how do you demolish selfishness? So when you say that, if somebody says that, okay, say you are better actually, you are better than the other person, another person comes and said that he's better than you. What will happen? you'll feel angry. You're getting selfishness. Says, no, I am better. You're gonna get selfishness. We're saying. So this selfishness, who stops you from becoming Buddha? Your selfishness stops you from becoming Buddha. You getting it? So this selfishness is very harmful. So instead, if somebody says that, or other person better than you feel so happy. Which means selfishness is not there. You agree? For example, the mother with a little baby. Oh, this baby is much better than the mother. Mother is jealous or happy? Very happy. You're getting it? So usually what I do usually is that say that if a mother and a child comes, I give some presents. I don't need big presents. A small child is good enough. If I give a small chocolate to the mother may feel offended. What is this gift? But give it to a small child. The mother is very happy. You're getting it? Mother is very happy. Okay. So instead of jealousy, there's a joy. And you don't give it anything to the mother. Give it to the child. Mother is the happiest person. You can give it to the mother, not to the child. Mother feels so sad. Because the mother will feel the pain of the child. Child will not say that I'm so happy my mother is given something. I'm not given, my mother is given. I'm not given. But the mother will think the opposite. Mother will be very happy. You're getting it? So now if you reach to this level where somebody says that others better than you feel so happy rather than jealous, rather than angry. If this is what happens to you, this is a possibility for you to become Buddha. Your sense and attitude development, mental obscuration, selfishness is removed. You getting it? So your job is to remove the selfishness. Now selfishness can manifest in many forms. So when somebody says that, other person better than you, you are worse than other people. I'm worse than others. Others are better. I'm so happy. So why we are not thinking like this is because of the selfishness. So you deliberately try to say that, okay, others are better than me. When you say others are better than me, say you score 80% and the other person scored only 60%. Who's better? You are better. But wholeheartedly you feel that others are better. The greatest what is great. Others are better. Wholeheartedly you feel this, that the mental, what is feeling? Others better, or you feel somebody says that others better than you. Although he scored less, but actually he's better than you. What do you feel normally? What do you feel? Uneasy. Very unpleasant feeling. You like the pleasant feeling? You like the unpleasant feeling or not? You don't like the unpleasant feeling. So therefore this unpleasant feeling is because of not because the person said that other one is better than you, because of the self-centered attitude. So with this, if you say that others are better than me, then you feel unhappy, or what happens? You will not feel unhappy. If others say that your other is better than you, you feel unhappy. When you are able to say that others are better than you, then you feel pleasant feeling. It's very profound feeling. It's very difficult to get. So therefore, this is known as deliberately. It's not that in any way you say that others are better than you. It doesn't mean that you will become worse. But your self-centered attitude is undermined. You get something? Okay. Who is more self-centered attitude? Somebody says that you are better, the others are better than you, and you feel okay. Versus others are better than you, you feel very unhappy. Which is more selfish? When you're very unhappy, selfishness is more. When it's okay, yeah, it can be right. Yes, others are also very good. They also put the nature. So then the selfishness is much less. So deliberately, we are trying to undermine the selfishness. So by saying that others are better than you, you're getting it? Others better than me. And you put it in a very dramatic way. Say you, yourself, you make a replica of you, put here, and all others put on one side. And you are like the judge. And you take the side of the majority. You said, you, Dorji, you are not as good. Others are so good. Like this, who's saying this? I'm saying this. But I'm doing it in a very dramatic way. I put myself there, a copy of myself there. So that way, when you say that, no, I'm not as good as others, So sometimes it can go too down. You can feel yourself so low. That is again a problem. So where the ego arises, when the ego is there, then it is advised to practice this. When the ego arises, when the ego is strong, selfish is strong, ego is strong, anger is strong, then these practices have to be done. Okay. So what you do is that you produce a replica of you here on the one, let's say, left side, and keep all the sentient beings on the right side, and you should what do the I and others. I am more than others. Who are others? Who are others? All other sentient beings. All other sentient beings. So all other sentient beings keep on one side, and you say, I am better than others. I'm more important than others. That I keep it here, and you are replica is here, and you are like the judge. You are like the judge between to decide, right, to whose side you have to take between I and between all others, and you deliberately practice to take the side of the all the others than you. You're getting it? Okay. So so these practices, we have never heard about these things. For example, it says that when somebody is very stingy, there are techniques there. Somebody is so stingy who cannot even let go of, 1 rupee, 10 rupee, so stingy. And then you cannot even give something to your mother also, to your brother, to your sister. You cannot give anything. You feel so stingy. This is a suffocation. This is like a prison, imprisonment. Very painful, being stingy. Being kind, being very generous is there's so much freedom there. It is very liberating. But stinginess is a disease. So with the stinginess, how to overcome? But you have a Buddha nature. Even if you are very stingy, there's a Buddha nature within you. So with this, the first practice given is that, hey, keep giving, right? Keep giving $1,000. Then it's like your heart is given. Your heart's been cut, right? So do, engage in practices from step to step. You have to know your level, and then from there you have to take the step. So the method you taught, the first, you're too stingy, you can't even give something to your mom, to your dad, to your child, and so forth. If this is a situation, then it is said that, okay, say, can you give 100 rupees? No way. 10 rupees? No. 1 rupee? No, I cannot give anything. I should keep everything me. So then, can you give it to yourself? That's okay. Right? So, say 100 rupees in your right hand. Okay, I'm giving. Give to your left hand. Right? I'm giving. When you say I'm giving, your mind is being trained. Your mind, I'm giving. So you know that it's still in my hand. It's my hand. It's not in somebody else's hand. So it's with me. So now I'm giving to my right hand. So this, and many of us will say that, what is this? This is like a small children's game. Yes, this is how we have to take steps. So with this, then, can you give it to your mom? First give it to your brother? No. Give it dad? No. Your mom? Okay, because mom will give it back to me. Right? With the mom? Okay. Then earlier you can give it to your mom also. Now you can give it to your mom with the training. First, training pass, your mom. And the mother will give back. Sometimes may not give you, some give to your other brothers or sisters. But now the giving is the tendency, like a physiotherapy. It's mental therapy. And then gradually give it to your brother? No. Give it to your dad? Okay. And it may give, it may not give, I don't know. Right? But my brother for sure he will not give me. My dad may give me. Then to a brother or sister, right? If you see the sister is more kind, I give to my sister, because sister will give back to me, most likely. And then gradually to a brother or to your neighbor. Oh, of course to my brother. To a neighbor or somebody else unknown to you. So this is how we do the mental exercise. So likewise, these are the techniques given, and these are very important. You do it, and we have to Buddha nature. In the process of doing these exercises, then the self-centered attitude will be self-centered attitude. Okay, how many of you felt this. The selfishness, reduced selfishness, like, oh, you have to give 1,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees, and so forth. And then the mind, you could feel the knot inside. You could feel the tightness. How many of you felt that? Okay, if you cut open your heart, you will not see any knot. But you could feel it. Feel it. This is known as the psychophysical complex. Psycho is a mental, and the physical is a physiological. You could see the connection there. You go inside, there's no knot there, but you could feel the knot. Say, hey, you give 10 rupees. Do you feel the knot? You will not feel the knot. It's okay. 100 rupees? Most likely not. 1,000 rupees? Okay, you will feel a slight knot there. You're getting it? 10,000 rupees, you will feel the knot. 100,000 rupees? Are you crazy? The knot is so strong. This is what you feel. You're getting it? So with the practice, what happens? You see that the knot is being unentangled one by one, one by one, one by one. Gradually, you will feel yourself lighter, lighter, lighter. These are the practices. Okay. So if possible in future, you have to get a teaching on this, just this teaching rather than, of course, for this it makes sense only if the teachings that we did, you already got these teachings. If you already got these teachings, the 9 methods, 9 steps, then you go through this will be very meaningful. If you do not go through the 9 steps, then go through this, it will make no sense to us. You're getting it? Okay. Which verse are we reading? 141. Okay, 114. Considering the lesser beings and so forth as myself. Okay, so there are 2 techniques taught. What is taught here, you can see this in 2 techniques. His Holiness, during one of the public teachings, taught the 2 techniques. One is asset, literally asset here, where so you consider all other beings as yourself, and yourself as all other beings. And then do the practice. How you feel jealous of others. Let others feel jealous of you. You're getting it? You. And how you feel egoistic. Let others feel egoistic of you. So this is one way. Another way is you replicate yourself as a judge. And you put yourself and others as 2, and you as a judge, you are trying to let others, you always take the side of the others. Okay. 140. Considering lesser beings and so forth as myself, and considering myself as the other, in the following way I should meditate upon envy, competitiveness, and self-importance. Okay. With a mind free of distorted concepts, he is honored, but I'm not. He meaning the self. Self is honored, but the other beings are not. I have not found wealth such as he. He is praised, but I am despised. He is happy, but I suffer. If I have to do all the work while he remains comfortably at rest, he is renowned as great in the world, but I as inferior with no qualities at all. But what do you mean, I have no good qualities? Meaning that you are taking the side of the sentient beings. Don't say that I meaning sentient beings have no qualities. Although they have all good qualities. Compared to many, he's inferior. He meaning I. I, you tell yourself, as you put yourself as that. Okay, for the time being, it would be better to think of your replica and all the beings on one side, and you on one side, and you replica as the judge. You say that he meaning you, or she, you. But as I meaning the sentient beings. So it is like your child and others' child. Your child and others' child, which side you will take? You will take the side of your child. Likewise, the you, replica, and all the beings on one side. Which of the 2 sides you take? You take the side of which 2? All the beings, not the self. You're getting it? So that way, it's not that you are being angry towards the self. You are deliberately trying to cut down the attachment to the self. You can cut down the self-centered attitude towards the self. So it's that okay, he is great. If you're good, if you're better than others, oh, he's great, and I'm not good. You're getting it? I'm not good. And you said that. So, but what do you mean by I'm not good? Although he looks to be so nice, he meaning who? I, me, there. Nice, but say for example, if you are, say, let's say you're a topper in the class, you're top in the class, and the rest of the day you feel that, oh, I'm the topper. So you replicate yourself there, and all the classmates on one side, and you take side of in the practice, you take the side of all the other classmates, and say that he, she, whatever he or she, is supposed to be the topper, and I'm not the topper, I'm inferior. But what do you mean? What is there for him to be egoistic? There are so many people better than him in the world. Why should he be, egoistic? So actually you are telling yourself that why should I be egoistic? There are so many people who are better than me. For example, you're good in physics. No, Albert Einstein, how can you compare yourself with Albert Einstein? So like music, you may be so good in music. How you can compare yourself with, Mozart? You're just nothing. When you say you're nothing, you feel as though like, it's so insignificant. You're getting it? Self-centered attitude is crushed. But with this practice, if you say that even the sense of I is gone, right, then I'm totally immobile. I'm totally useless. I'm so insignificant. If that comes, then don't go to that extent. Again, you have to live for yourself. So that is to diminish this self-centered attitude and the ego and the source of anger. Okay, so you got some idea. 143. But what do you mean I have no good qualities? I have all good qualities. Who is saying this? Other sentient beings. You are personifying other sentient beings in the form of you. You personify you as the others. Compared to many, he is inferior. And compared to many, I'm high. The deteriorated state of my morals and views is not due to me, but due to my disturbing conceptions. Here, disturbing conception means afflictions. In whatever way he should heal me. Willingly, I shall accept my discomfort involved. But I'm not being healed by him. So why does he belittle me? Sometimes we say like this: he looks to be so egoistic. What is there for me to do with that person? Right? Even if he's so rich, so what? It's nothing to do with me. This is what often as we say, you have to say this exactly to yourself. Okay. 146. Okay, 145. But I'm not being healed by him, so why does he belittle me? What use are his good qualities to me? Although he has good qualities, he does not benefit me. With no compassion for the beings who dwell in the poisonous mouth of evil realms, externally he is proud of his good qualities and wishes to put down the wise. In order that, so in fact, amongst the Tibetan practitioners, deliberately, they say, for example, they are the authors of extremely classic books. At the end, the author's name, he will say that a crazy person or someone who's illiterate. See, these are deliberately written to undermine your ego. Otherwise, we write even a small composition or a small booklet, then your name is too big. A very big name, the title is very small and the name is very big. You're getting very big. Well, I'm the author, I authored this book. Whereas the real authors, they read amazing books and they said that I'm a crazy person or, who doesn't know anything, who is just a useless person, the least of the students of this great teacher, like this. Just to diminish one's ego. This is the practice being followed as a living tradition. Okay. Which verse we are reading?
147.
Huh?
147.
147. In order that I may excel, he who is regarded as equal, now with equal with me, I shall definitely strive to attain material gains and honor myself. Honor myself means honor all the beings as myself, even by such means as verbal dispute with him. With him? Me. By all means, I shall make clear to the entire world all the good qualities I have, but I shall not let anyone hear of any good qualities he may have. So deliberately undermining your good qualities, not letting it come out. 149. Also, I shall I shall hide all my faults. I will be venerated, but not he. I will find a great deal of material gain, and I'll be honored, but he shall not. For a long time I shall look with pleasure at his being made inferior. He will become the laughing stock of all, regarded among everyone as an object of scorn and derision. It is said that this deluded one is trying to compete with me, but now, deluded one meaning the self, I am trying to compete with sentient beings. Which verse?
151.
150? Okay. It is said that this deluded one is trying to compete with me, but how can he be equal with me in learning, intelligence, form, class, and wealth? Thus, upon hearing of my good qualities that have been made well known to all, I shall thoroughly enjoy the satisfaction, the pleasant, tingling sensations that occurs. Even though he has some possessions, if he is working for me, I shall give him just enough to live on. By force, I'll take the rest. Okay, so in practice, for example, so you have extra things. You have extra things. Okay, these are, okay, oh, I want this, always hoarding. So that you have some extra things. Oh, these are for the sentient beings. These are for anybody who comes that I meet with and who is in need of good things. Then let them have it. For them, I'm keeping, not for myself, for them. So these are the practices. So, for example, let's say just a little bit of what I do. Say people give me presents, gifts in the packages, and the packages, and I keep them as they are. The packages, keep them as they are. And my relatives, they come, they clean up, and the brothers, sisters, their children, they come, they clean, they open all things. I said that don't open these. Don't open these. Whatever I have, this is good enough. Good enough. I don't need any extra. So all these things which are kept in the proper package, keep them as they are. When I give, again, give something new, not old. When you give something old. It's something new, which is worthy to be given. Respect. Don't give something old to other people. Only if, for example, somebody needs a book, but you can give this book, this old one is fine. A pen is also fine. But otherwise, other things, you have some old things. Then if you have old things, new one, give the old one, and the new one, give it. No. If you have old one, you already use it. Continue using it. The new one you give it, let them really feel that they have something new. So this is respect. Your quality of respect in others will grow. You will benefit it. You accumulate positive karma. Okay. Which verse? 154. Are you sure? 153, not finished? Even though he has some possessions, if he is working for me, I shall give him just enough to live on, and by force I'll take the rest. His happiness comfortable decline, and I shall always cause him harm. Meaning that as sentient beings, I take the side of the sentient beings, and I will not take the side of myself. And if harm happens to him, I'll be happy. Deliberately try to attack this self-cherishing. For hundreds of times in the cycle of rebirth, he has caused harm to me. How many of you must have caused harm to others all these many lifetimes? Raise hands. All these many lifetimes, how many of us we must have caused harm to others? Many times, yes. So this is the meaning. 154. His happiness comfort will decline, and I shall always cause him harm. For hundreds of times in this life of rebirth, he has caused harm to me. Because of desiring benefit to yourself, O mind, all the weariness you have gone through over countless past eons has only succeeded in achieving misery. So now you are telling you, now from here, most likely it is you as you, others are others, and then it's more direct now. 156. Therefore, I shall definitely engage myself in working for the benefit of others. Okay. For since the words of the mighty ones, the Buddha, are infallible, I shall behold its advantages in the future. If in the past I had practiced this act of exchanging stuff for others, a situation such as this, devoid of magnificence and bliss of a Buddha, could not possibly have come about. Meaning that if I practiced the equalizing and exchanging matter since many lifetimes ago. By now I should have become a Buddha. Why I'm still suffering is because I did not practice this method in the past lives. So now I do now. 158. Therefore, just as I have come to hold as I these drops of sperm and blood of others, likewise through acquaintance I should also come to regard all others as myself. 159. Having thoroughly examined myself to see whatever I'm really working for others or others or not, I shall steal whatever appears on my body and use it for the benefit of others. I'm happy, but others are sad. I'm high, though others are low. I benefit myself, but not others. Why am I not envious of myself? I must separate myself from happiness and take upon myself the suffering of others. Why am I doing this now? In this way, I should examine myself for faults. Although others may do something wrong, I should transform it into fault of my own. But should I do something even slightly wrong on others, I should openly admit it to many people. By further describing the renown of others, I should make it outshine my own and praising others, talking good things about others, rather than talking good things about yourself all the time. So these are practices that have been to keep in mind. 164. I should not praise my naturally fault-ridden self for some temporary and good qualities it may have. I shall never let even a few people know of any good qualities I may possess. In brief, for the sake of living creatures, may all the harms I have selfishly caused to others descend upon me myself. I should not be dominating and aggressive, acting in a self-righteous, arrogant way. Instead, like a newly married bride, I should be bashful, timid, and restrained. Thus, O mind, you should think and abide in this way and not act selfishly as before. If, under the control of self-cherishing, you transgress this code, your selfishness will be your end. However, mind, although you have been advised, if you do not act in a like manner, then since all misfortunes will entrust themselves to you, you will only be destined to destruction. That previous time when you could overcome me is now past. Now I see your nature. So this again exchanging self and others. And now I see your nature and your faults, meaning I myself. And wherever I go, I should destroy the arrogance of the self. I should immediately cast aside all thoughts to work for my own sake. By having sold you to others, I shall not become discouraged, but shall offer up all the strength to others. If having become unconscientious, I do not give you to all the living beings, I do not give myself to all the living beings, it is certain that you will deliver me to the garden, the selfishness, will you deliver me to the guardians of the hell. For ages have you dealt with me like this, and I've suffered long, but now recalling all my grudges, I shall overcome your selfish thoughts. Likewise, if I wish to be happy, I should not be happy with myself, and similarly, if I wish to be protected, I should constantly protect all others. To whatever degree I take great care of this body, to that degree I shall fall into a state of extreme helplessness. Having fallen in the same way, if my desires are unable to be fulfilled, even by everything upon this earth, what else will be able to satisfy them? Being unable to fulfill them, though desiring to do so, disturbing conceptions and a dissatisfied mind will ensue. But if I do not depend on any material things, the exhaustion of my good fortune will be unknown. Therefore, I shall never create an opportunity for the desires of the body to increase, for whatever do not grasp as attractive, they are the best of all possessions. In the end, my body will turn to dust, unable to move by itself. It will be propelled by other forces. Why do I grasp this unbearable and unclean form as I? Whether it lives or whether it dies. So what use is this machine for me? How is it different from the clod of pain, the earth? Or why do I not despite this pride of being I and mine, having accumulated suffering for no purpose, because of my honoring and serving this body? What use is this attachment and anger for this thing that is similar in the peaceful word? Whether I'm caring for my body in this way or whether it is being eaten by vultures, it is no attachment or hatred towards these things. Why then am I so attached to it? If my body knows no anger then when derided or no pleasure when praised, for what reason am I wearing myself out like this? But I want this body of mine, both it and I are friends, and since all beings want their bodies, why do I not find joy in theirs? Therefore, in order to benefit all beings, I shall give up this body without any attachment, But although it may have many faults, I should look after it while experiencing the results of my previous actions. Okay, so all this body. Now this conclusion, this is how we should finally take care of the, say, they have to see how to look at this body. So this body has so much of problems, and attachment to this body gives rise to so much negative karmas, make you suffer in the future. But although I know all the demands of this body, but I should take care of this body, to use this body for the benefit of the uncovering the hidden treasure within me. So for this purpose, this body, the human body, is so precious. Use this body for the benefit of cultivating bodhicitta, wisdom, emptiness. This body has a tremendous capacity. And if you use this just for the purpose of fulfilling the gratification, then it will only accumulate negative karma to make us suffer more in the future. 184, 185. So enough of the childish behavior. I shall follow in the steps of the wise, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and having recalled the advice concerning conscientiousness, I shall turn away sleep and mental dullness. Just like the compassionate sons or the compassionate children, compassionate meaning the Bodhisattvas the children of the conqueror, males, females, both are there, and oftentimes some translators they are very in the translation is very confined to a very small meaning, not the broad meaning. The broad meaning is again, compassionate sons of the conqueror. In this of that, compassionate children of the conqueror. Why? Because it encompasses both. Sons, so what the translator is translating is the pu. Pu in Tibetan, it means both. Pu means the male. Pumo is the girl. So it's not confined to the male. It's both. So this is where some translators can make these mistakes. Just like the compassionate children of the conqueror, I shall patiently accept compassionate children, meaning the Bodhisattvas. Bodhisattvas can be both male and female. I shall patiently accept what I've done, what I have to do. For if I do not make a constant effort day and night, when will my misery ever come to an end? Therefore, in order to dispel the obscurations, I shall withdraw my mind from mistaken ways and constantly place it in the equipoise upon the perfect object. Okay, so now we have another half an hour before the next class, meaning the online class. So what we do is that we will do, we'll do the quick Tsok offering. Or we'll do one thing. We will do the 7-limb practice. Just recite 7-limb practice. And because the morning practice we already did, which page number? 7-limb practice?
39.
Page 39. Okay, 7 practice, we'll sit together and visualizing that we are offering we're making the offering of all the edibles. So why we are making this Tsok offering? In the first place, what is Tsok offering? Tsok means accumulation of merit, and the accumulation of merit and accumulation of the edibles. So in short, it's the accumulation of merit and accumulation of wisdom. So we're offering all these, whatever merit that we've gathered from these last 7-8 days, we are dedicated properly. The great teachers say, dedicating the merit in the beginning, the setting motivation, proper motivation beginning, and dedicate the merits at the end properly. So this is where we come to an end. We'll say this and let us dedicate that all the merits that we gathered the last few days. The first, that His Holiness the Dalai Lama, that His Holiness will have a very healthy, good and long life for the benefit of all sentient beings, and that His wishes will fulfill spontaneously, that the world is going to be a more peaceful world. And let us also pray that all the learning centers of the different traditions, the Theravada tradition, Chinese tradition, Tibetan Buddhist tradition, and within Tibetan Buddhist Buddhist tradition, Sakya, Kagyu, Nyuma, Geru, and all these learning centers, they thrive in the activity of study, contemplation, meditation. And also, let's pray that the centers such as the Tosamling, they thrive in the activities and benefiting the beings in ways of offering Dharma services to the beings. They thrive in the activities and they be supported materially as well as spiritually by all the concerned people. And let's also pray that people who are volunteering here, the director of the tourism center, and Petula, and all the people who are involved with the tourism, the volunteers, and they have good health, and the spiritual journey is going to be extremely effective, that they could see the dawn of Bodhi wisdom entrance within themselves very soon. And let's also pray that the teaching of the Bodhi wisdom emptiness flourish in the minds of all the demonstration beings. And let me personally dedicate the merits thus gathered, that each one of you, through a concerted effort, be able to soon see the dawn of the Bodhicitta, the most beautiful mind of Bodhicitta, and the most fearless mind of the wisdom emptiness, that they dawn in you for the benefit of all demonstration beings. Okay, with this mind, we will do this practice together. I bow down to the youthful Aryaman Jushri, you the Buddhas, the lions amongst humans, gone to freedom in the present, past, and future, and the world's at 10 directions. To all of you with bodies, speech, and sense of mind, I bow down. With the energy aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect, and with as many bodies as entered to the world, to all you Buddhas visualized as real, I bow down. On every particle are Buddhas, numberless particles, each amidst the host of Bodhisattvas, and confident the spirit of all phenomena is entirely filled with Buddhas in this way. With infinite oceans of praise for you, and oceans of sound from the aspects of my voice, I sing the breathtaking excellence of Buddhas and celebrate all of you Sugadas. Beautiful flowers in regal garlands, sweet music, scented walls and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense, offer to victorious ones of Buddhas. Fine dress and fragrant perfumes, sandalwood powder heaped high as the Mount Meru, all wondrous offerings and spectacular array offered to victorious ones. With transcendental offerings, peerless and vast, with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with strength of conviction in a Bodhisattva way, offer and bow down to all victorious ones. Every harmful action I've done with my body, speech, and mind, overwhelmed by attachment, anger, and ignorance, all these I openly lay bare before you. I lift my heart and rejoice in all the merit of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, of solitary realizers, street training, and those beyond, and of all ordinary beings. You who are the bright lights of the worlds in 10 directions, who have attained the Buddha's omniscience through the stages of awakening, all who are my guides, please turn the supreme will of Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request who you may actualize parinirvana. Please stay with us for eons numberless as entered into the world, for the happiness and well-being of all wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight merit I may have accumulated by making prostrations, offering, confessing, rejoicing and requesting that the Buddha's teach, I now dedicate this full awaken of all beings. Okay. So down. What do you do?
Shall we distribute?
Yes. Okay, young ones, please help and Petula to distribute the blessed offerings to all participants. Okay, young ones. Hey, Shira, you're a young one. Come. Huh? Huh? Deep? Oh, deep. Oh, vision.
Yes, so just take the soul out.
Just the soul is fine. So you would huh? So this you keep there, yeah. Just no, I'm done. To all others. Okay, young ones, come. Distribute.
And Kishore, this is a carrot cake for you. Yeah.
For everybody.
For you and yeah, for.
Okay, Kishima. Please, Tia, Chushana. Oh, Shima some to sit or she do it. Children, you do it. Oh, but you were fishing, do it. They were fishers. Kanzakore, chosen a Chushima. 간사고 피셔시. 아니 다다 마주로 미주로와 마마시 마게 잠시. 아니, 라면라. 다티키시. Reset 성키시.
Not got any gift for you.
Just wait. Still we are going. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay. First, let me.
Geshe, can we offer some thanks? So she just needs a mic.
What is this? So there's some monitor offering here. We'll go to something. Yes.
I would like to take the liberty of expressing gratitude on behalf of everyone present here. From the bottom of our hearts, we would like to thank Reverend Geshe for being a guiding light in our journey. There is immense gratitude for the learnings that we have received by him in this life. Through you, with respect to the Buddhist philosophy. Through your wisdom and compassion, we got introduced to Bodhisattva and wisdom of realizing emptiness. You've already sown the seeds of it in us, and we intend to go a long way through the light that you have shed. Also, through this retreat, we got the opportunity to seek blessings of His Holiness the Dalai Lama in person. And thank you, Geshe.
Thank you so much.
Geshe, on behalf of Tosamling, we are very grateful that this is the 5th year that we have come. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. We'll make it a little quick. So first of all, let me, on behalf of Tibet House and all the staff, let me wholeheartedly thank Venerable Petula for managing all these programs. Thank you so much.
Geshe, Ladakhis also want to
Okay,
make
okay.
an offering to you. So,
Venerable Petula. Okay. This is for you from Tibet House.
thank you very much.
Okay. Yes. And the book for you, the voices by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Niba Simba. Ale. So this for the Venerable Samala, the director.
Thank you.
So next we have Sedana. Sedana who works so tirelessly to help us. Thank you. That's good. Parve. Okay. So the Ravana is saying that Rashida also works so hard to make sure that the mighty is taken care of. Rashida, come. Thank you. It's for you from Tibet House. Okay. Okay. Okay, so now the Florida Dharma group, what they have to say something, and then after this, there's a small gift for all the participants. The bracelet, a bracelet from both guys for each one of you, and a prayer flag. And this book is very precious. This small book is very precious. So all of you will get a book. These three small presents from Tibet House for each one of you. So this we will do after the Florida Dharma group. This just tradition. Okay, Florida Dharma, come.
Good evening and Tashibulis everyone. On the behalf of Flowering Dharma and the Himalayan Alliance, I would like to express our sincere thanks to each and every one of you. And a very special thanks to our Geshe, our Guru, our mentor, Venerable Geshe Dorji Damdul, for his teachings and guiding us throughout this time with full dedication and patience. We are truly grateful for your constant care, kindness, and encouragement, Geshe. We feel lucky to have had you as our teacher. It is meaningful for us that our seniors have been here before and were in touch with Geshe through something as well as Tibet House for a long time. We are grateful to continue this very connection, and we hope our upcoming learners will also be fortunate to be able to learn from you, Geshe. Once again, thank you so much, Geshe, for being a shining light in our lives and inspiring us to be the best version of ourselves. Thank you so much, Geshe. So now, on the behalf of Flowering Dharma, we have a small gift for you, Geshe.
Thank you, thank you.
Also, Geshe, we have made a small card for you. Last night we all made it together.
Thank you.
Truly, it was a really enriching experience, and we are taking back a lot of learning from it. Also, thanks to Tosamle team, volunteers, and all the staffs of Tosamle for being so kind, supportive, and generous throughout. You made us feel very comfortable and cared for. Everything from the stay to the environment and also the food was very refreshing and taken care of. We truly felt refreshing and peaceful. Thank you very much. Oh, sorry. And also, we also have a small gift for some viewers. Venerable Patriarch, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, I would also like to thank the Tibet House for organizing this amazing retreat. And yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Thanks to each and everyone. And I hope we will meet again. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, everyone. And at last, as a small gesture of our gratitude and respect, we would like to honor our group leaders with khatas. Geshe, Venerable Kanjula, Rudhila, Shunzilla, and Bharati also. Lastly, a very thank you. We would also like to honor the Tibet House members also with khatas. Rabyanga, Angela, and Shona. Thank you very much.
Karen has.
Mandela.
Geshe, this is an offer for you from your student who feel full respect and devotion to you.
Mandela.